Hi, welcome to the Bud Show. We are on season 2, episode 30, maybe? I honestly don't know. We definitely lose track. I am totally lost track. But I'm really excited because we have our news feature again this evening. So we have Miss Allison back, and we're just going to talk real quick about kind of an update of what we talked about a couple weeks ago, right? And also your rig contest?
Yes,
All right.
rig contest.
All right, so let's talk about the update first as to what happened with the MSCO? MCSO.
Yeah.
Okay, which is Maricopa Sheriff?
Maricopa County Sheriff's
Maricopa County Sheriff Office. Say that 10 times fast. All right, and the original story, just for anyone who didn't watch, to recap real quick, was that
MCSO is making its own concentrates using confiscated equipment and confiscated flour from the unlicensed market.
What? So when I get pulled over and they take my stuff, that's what they then go make their stuff with?
Yeah.
What? Okay, and what's the update on this?
We got a press release from them.
Wait, so they replied to this? Like they know that you're
They know
interested
about
in
this.
finding out more?
I'm more than sure they know about this.
You're a brave girl, by the way.
No.
Woman, brave woman. Sorry. I want to say girl, but brave woman, yes. I think you are.
And then a video came to light.
So was the press release directly at you, can I
No.
ask? Okay, it was just in general.
It was just
because
in
they
general.
knew that you were kind of poking.
Yeah. Well,
the bear?
I pushed for the press release a
Okay.
little.
So what did the press release say?
Just that they had this task force that's been around for a while.
Basically admitting.
Yeah, up until the Jones case ruling that they weren't really actively using this testing site for anything except for really just blowing things up.
Sounds very dangerous. Our tax dollars pay for this too, I think.
Yeah, well, it gets
Some?
funding from the DEA.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah.
Goodness. Okay. So what do we need to look out for, or is there anything coming with this next, or do you
I
anticipate
am
anything
trying
coming?
to get a press release from Arizona or the Department of Health.
Okay.
And I've been in contact with them a few times. I have a direct cell phone number, and I'm pushing for it, but I'm kind of,
Are you trying to be gentle about it?
I have been. I'm going to get a little bit more forceful because it's
If
been
you
about
have
2
an
weeks.
email address and you don't get where you want, and you want a bunch of us to email them and say like,
Oh, I don't.
hey,
I don't
wanna
want to
know.
be that
Okay.
mean yet.
Okay. Well, let us know when you do. We're on it.
Other
But you'll
than
cut your back.
trying, trying so hard to get them on statement.
Yeah.
It's so hard. Like
I'm
I went
sure.
down there to the office and waited. The little old lady behind the desk was really helpful.
Of course, and those are workers. They're there. They're not trying to not give you information, right?
But it's next to like stocking the waiting room. Yeah.
All right. So we're waiting for more information from
Yeah.
the basically Arizona.
I want to know if they knew about the MCSO doing this. If they have a scientist in house that can,
Great question.
Yeah. It was like
Who's
21.
testing this stuff too? Like, are they sending any of this stuff to any labs?
That's what it was when I listed about 20 questions.
We
and we'll
work
see
with
what they
2
get
labs,
back.
and I mean, not that they disclose all like any of their patients, but I would just be surprised. I feel like that would be a conflict of interest in some. I don't know, maybe not.
It
or
was
maybe
one
just
of my
a moral.
questions. So,
Here's just a moral. All right.
and we still have the dirtiest rig
Okay,
contest.
so tell us about this. All right, so we're going to flip from the serious to a little bit more fun news in the cannabis
Well,
industry
it's
here in
serious.
Arizona.
You want to know what's in your dab.
Yes.
You want to know what's going through your jab rig. It's
Yes.
like, well, waste. Waste is important.
Yes. Well,
What's in the
and
waste that doesn't get inhaled, and is it
some
okay
people
to
use that.
reuse
Yeah,
it?
so some people reuse it. Recently, I have a friend who put it in some capsules and ingested it.
Yes.
So I said, oh, is that even safe? So I totally agree with you, and I would love to know that. So
Yeah.
is that what we're going to find out?
Well, we want people to send us pictures of their rig so
Okay.
we can clean it for them.
Okay. How many rigs are you going to end up cleaning? Just one?
Just one.
Just
one
one.
lucky winner
Okay.
gets their rig cleaned for free.
When do they have to have their rig dirty by?
I'd say by the end of this week would be a good
so
time.
like Friday.
Yeah.
Get your dirty rig picture in. That sounds so dirty. Get your dirty rig picture in to Allison.
Actually, send it to.
Here we go. Correction.
Well, the information about the contest is on Instagram at AZ Cannabis News.
Okay. And who are they sending it to? Do you know that email off the top of your head?
I believe we're sending it to level 1.
Level 1. Oh, to do the testing? We love level 1 labs. Awesome. Very, very cool. Okay, and then, all right, so they need to have it in by the 13th. They go to the Arizona Cannabis News to see more information, right?
Yeah.
To get more information. So right now, you just take out your phone, like right now while you're watching this show, and you go check it out. So that's what don't wait. Just look at it right now. Right? That's what we want them to do? Okay. And then if their rig isn't super dirty right now, they have until Friday
They have
to get
until
it.
Friday
Okay.
to do.
Do you have a lot of entries so far?
No.
Okay.
So you have a really good chance if you have like a really gross rig.
Okay. So, and we're not disqualified for any reason, right? Like, I'm not disqualified
No.
for any reason because I'm
No,
a man of
nobody's-
munchies and
no,
I like a
no
lot
one
of
is
food
disqualified.
or anything like that. Okay. I have to
Anybody's
turn in a picture of my rig just in case none of you do. And then I'll win just by, like, default, right? Okay. I love it. Thank you.
no problem.
Thank you. Well, that concludes our AZ Cannabis News here, and we appreciate you, Miss Allison.
Thanks.
Thank you. You're good. Yeah. I'll call you back if we do games and maybe need you. We probably will. Can I call you back?
Okay.
Okay.
So she's not staying for the games?
No, we're gonna wait for Jasmine to do the game,
Okay.
so we each are on a team.
Oh,
so it's
cool.
2 teams against each other. I'm so excited that you guys are so excited about the game.
Yeah. I
Yes.
love playing games.
I love it. All right, you can come scooch this way.
Scooch this
Thank you,
way.
Allison.
Thank you. I am blown away by what she said right now. I have no
Which
idea.
which
I've
part,
been,
may I ask?
I've been hermit crabbing recently, so I haven't really been in the loop. But what about them using the stuff they take from us and profiting? They're already profiting.
Yes.
Now I'm just kind of like, what?
Yes.
I'm gonna like do research hardcore when I get home because now I'm just like, what?
It's a crazy
No.
world we live in. All right, so
Oh, yeah.
before we keep talking, you got to introduce yourself, ladies,
Oh.
because you just kind of slid into the picture, I think, right? Hopefully that's what happened. And so no one technically knows who you are, which is not probably true because I know you ladies are faces of the cannabis industry that many people know. But hopefully you can tell my viewers who don't know who you are and where to find you. In general, this is not your home address we're looking for just on social media. There are some crazy fuckers out there, and we don't want them finding you that way. All right, so I'm going to start on my left, and then we'll just kind of go this way, which just is directly to you. Sound good?
Awesome.
right.
Hi, everyone. My name is Ashley Stone. I go by Hashley Stoner.
I love it.
I know.
That's
love it.
actually my Instagram tag. It's just Hashley Stoner, super simple. And on Facebook, it's just Ashley Stone. And what I do is right now I'm actually doing finances for cannabis patients. So helping them get life insurance and also, knowing what they're doing with their finances because it's a big thing nowadays to actually be able to make sure that, we're able to afford our meds, but also make sure we're focused on the future as well.
That's right. And I totally agree with that. So often today we don't know enough about money or even understand our money or think about the future. And I think someone said it the other day, it might have been Bree. Someone said it, like our 20s, and I totally agree, like our 20s is kind of fun and we're exploring, we're figuring ourselves out. But then like our late 20s, early 30s, we gotta start like serious fucking adulting and thinking about that future shit. And if you ain't, you should, because
Yes.
future shit comes really fast. And so it's important to think about that. So we'll dive more into that. I'm super
Yeah.
excited to kind of chat with you a little bit about that, and I appreciate you being here.
Of course,
And
thank you.
Who are you, my dear?
My name's Christina Duran, and I am a self-taught chef. I make gourmet edibles for Fusion Incredible Edibles. You can find me on Instagram, Fusion Incredible Edibles, or my personal is Stina's Shit with a Z. You'll find me on there.
But don't email her.
Yeah.
It's not an appropriate method of communication.
I rarely
DM,
check emails. I'm trying my
text.
best.
Mail would probably even work, but don't send this girl an email
Or a fax. Because
or a fax.
but I'll get a text or a message,
And these are yours, right?
Yeah, these are mine.
So what's this?
This is a 100 milligram medicated.
CBD, THC.
This one's CBD.
Okay.
Coconut base lollipop with
This one.
organic rose petals. So it gives the lollipop a freaking awesome taste. You get a little boost to help you relax and enjoy the loveliness while you're getting medicated. And then you have the blueberry
Thank
muffin
you.
over there, and then
Yep.
I have a lemon poppy seed. And then these, the coffee The coffee company.
In Dom Life.
Yeah, at the Dom Life and the Hemp Wellness, they have them all the time, so you can get them there. They're only 20 milligrams CBD, so it's not too much, but it's nice for you to have. They're super delicious, super moist, and I just love them. Everybody loves them. So
And the
I make
coffee cups-
cupcakes and stuff too,
Amazing.
but I like the muffins because you can just put them in the clear containers, and you don't have to worry about toppings and anything melting. And we live in the desert, so I make cupcakes a lot, and I have melting issues all the time with my frosting and my
higher.
whipped cream. So you got to be really prepared. So these ones are just a little different.
Have you
It's
ever taken a blueberry muffin and cut it in half and put it in a pan on the stove that has butter in it and grilled it?
Oh my gosh, no, but that sounds
If
freaking
you
delicious.
haven't, I highly recommend that you do.
Okay.
So you cut
With
it
some
this
medicated
way.
butter.
Ooh, I mean, you just picked it up a notch for sure.
No,
but
that sounds
yeah,
really good. I think I might do that and then take
so
some pictures.
good, and it browns it, and it just makes it warm and like gooey. So especially like something like this that it didn't come right out the oven this moment, right? So it's just a nice way to
Yeah, it is a nice way.
to get that like really good fresh out of the oven taste, and it just makes it melt in your mouth
That
so
sounds
much.
freaking awesome.
Yeah, don't hesitate to try that trick, anyone at home, for sure.
right.
Look, can I do a whole tower?
Yeah.
Yeah! We got the CBD tower, muffins and lollipops. All right, I'm excited. You guys are all chewing on gum, by the way, right?
Which
This
I
is-
didn't time it when we had it because on the back it said 10 to 15 minutes, get rid of it.
Oh,
So-
well, I mean, I think if if it's not bad, you're probably okay.
Yeah, I think it's almost getting bad.
There.
But it's good.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still pretty minty though. So I mean, it's
Nice.
long lasting.
So this is by Hempel Farms. This product, sorry, I'm all over the place. Geez, like, would you stay still with your gum? I'm sorry. So this is Hempel Farms, and this is a CBD gum. So there's all different ways that you can medicate with CBD, and this is one of the things that we talk
And it
about.
was good.
And I think even
It
your
wasn't chalky. Like I've tried a lot of different edibles, and I'm very picky. But I thought when I seen it, I thought it was gonna be kind of a chalky thing. Took the bite, seemed like it was gonna be, but it didn't. It was like
good,
it went right,
right?
for the chewy. I'm like, oh, okay,
Solid.
all right, nice.
doesn't
So
have
credit for them. Yeah.
doesn't have a lot of bad stuff in it, so I can read pretty much all these ingredients on here. I mean, I might not be able to because I'm a little blonde sometimes, but I can read all of those. I'm like, I can read all those. And so it's just another way that we can medicate. So we can medicate lots of different ways with CBD. And a lot of people don't know that CBD is amazing for things like anxiety and inflammation. So I think, those are just two go-to things. If you can
The
think
main
of
inflammation, pain for sure, but inflammation within 10, 15 minutes. Like,
huge.
It doesn't matter what, it goes away. Like, man, I've known so many people that it witness, and then I'm testimony too. Like, I know it works.
And not everyone can do tinctures or likes tinctures. Not everybody likes a vape pen or to smoke. That's not everyone's method. So it's important to know that there's different ways to medicate, right? I mean,
Yeah,
I
definitely.
think that's super important. Besides smoking, what would be your favorite way to medicate?
My favorite way personally is I like a lot of rubs and salves because I
Ah.
have hip dysplasia.
Those are topicals, right, that you're referring to?
Yes. Since I have hip dysplasia, it actually helps making sure that I can get medicated in the correct area because when we're smoking, that's a lot of through our mouths and we feel in our it's good for pain relief, but at the same time, like when I'm trying to get it down to my hips and like as fast as I can, salves are the fastest thing for me.
Well, your skin is your largest organ, right? So I think that's amazing, and a lot of people don't know. Do you have a particular salve that you swear by?
I mean, I don't. I have a variety.
Okay, I like it.
One of my favorites lately has been Deeply Rooted. Has a like a cream that you just kind of spray, but it doesn't just have CBD in it. It also has like natural ibuprofen and some other just natural herbs and oils in it that help just as much as the CBD does.
Yes.
So I love it. It's super
Yes.
powerful.
That sounds great.
Yeah, it's amazing.
And then the spray, convenient, so you don't have, if you don't want to get it on your hands, that's always a big thing. Because then after, I've rubbed my mom before, and I'm like, afterwards, my hands are like all like, I'm
Tingly
like, oh, my hands
almost,
are
yeah.
tingly. But yeah, that's awesome. The spray, like an easy spray or something like that to get it directly on the skin. No mess.
Is edibles your alternative,
yeah.
or is there another way alternative that you have to flour?
Yeah, edibles, and I have to say, out of all edibles, it would be candy. So my lollipops only because I don't have to digest it. It just goes directly. I'm sucking on it, goes in my mouth, and it hits me faster, and it lasts way longer.
Nice.
I'll feel like I had like it'll come in and out throughout the day when it's an edible, but it feels like you just came out from smoking and getting medicated. And every once in a while, I'll notice, and I'm like, oh, I forgot I ate that lollipop 3 hours ago. You know, but that's the best way.
Nice.
Yeah. Even though, I love flour.
Yes.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Nothing beats flour,
Yep.
but if I had to choose, it'd be the lollipops.
Yeah. And I think too with today, there's so many different products on the market, sometimes it's really hard to like even figure out which one is best for you. I know that for me, I've personally been really experimenting a lot with all the different CBDs. You can do a CBD dab, you can do CBD in your food. Like, who do you be CBD dabbing? Like, legit CBD dabbing. You can get away with CBD dabbing a lot of places, just gonna say, as long as you're really CBD dabbing. So, yeah, I think there's lots of ways to medicate other than just smoking the flower. That's the old school way, and definitely my favorite though.
Even though, I mean, when you do roll one, you're like, it's nothing beats that feeling afterwards, because it's fun to medicate.
Yeah. Well, I think a lot of us too, it's the whole, and I hear this all the time, and I know for me as well, it's the process of rolling. It's the process of breaking up. It's almost like
your hands
like a ceremonial almost when I'm breaking up my medicine and the way I treat my medicine, right? And then even times if I'm not being cognizant of the fact of how my medicine really is medicine, and like maybe I'm taking advantage of it or not, respecting it fully. So sometimes I need to step back and really just respect
it's like that
as
guilty type feeling, because I've felt that before too.
Yeah.
It's like, I want to say it's 60-40 on my part, where it's 60% of the time it's medication, and then the other 40 it's a good time, and I like how it makes me feel, and I want to be happy all the time. So
I'm always medicating. If we're doing percentages, I'm like 120 medicating, and like the rest is just for fun, like extra when I'm extra medicated. What about you on the scale of percentage now that she broke it out?
Now that she broke it out. It's funny that you say it. When I first started smoking when I was 18, I used to get high. We always say, oh, stoners get high, right? But like, I don't get high anymore. Like, I don't know about you guys, but like, I don't get like high. Like, I definitely, like, I'll get a mood change, and I'll be able to move more because I'm more comfortable, my body's relaxed. But it's definitely more on medicating, because like I said, I don't even really get stoned anymore.
Right.
Like, it just,
to that point where like I feel like when I'm really high, I'm laughing, everything is funny. Like, there's super deep conversation that goes in 27 directions, right? Where like I feel like I agree with you. I don't really get that elevated all the time. Although I gotta say, we and I'm pointing at you, we were lucky enough to puff on Zen Dispensary Trax pre-roll. That thing got me medicated.
Is that why you were looking them up right now?
No, I was trying to look them up because they have a donation thing right now. So we, as Hydrate the Homeless and Guarded Hope, we try to give back and help give to other organizations when we can. And since our Hydrate the Homeless summer effort is pretty much coming to an end, we just wanted to kind of re-give. So yes, give Zen Dispensary.
Right on.
So yeah. So but yeah. So all right. What else we can talk about, ladies? So we got lots.
I had a question for her, and then
we got.
So you mentioned, do you do mostly CBD or? Like,
no, I do both. I do both. I do
Okay.
both. It's just especially with that specific tincture, it works really well for me. So I mean, it doesn't necessarily always have to have the THC in it. I think CBD is a powerful enough pain relief that you don't always need the THC. And it's it's good that I don't always use THC, because you don't always need to. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
And so
and not everybody wants the head high, so I think CBD is great for that, for people that
especially if I'm gonna go grocery shopping. I do not want to be in there forever looking at I read every I'm like, what, it's only $1? Oh, what, they have this here? I'll be there forever. My poor daughter in the cart, like, looking at me, probably like, but I'm just taking my time. You know, I do everything right. My daughter's having a good time. But
I went to the lake one day. I went to the lake one day, and like what you carry to the, like what you bring to the lake, you have to carry and stuff. Like we went tubing, and we got a little medicated before we went to. Like we were just supposed to get like a couple small things at the grocery store, and then we got medicated before we went.
That's the worst.
Oh, we got a lot.
Dang.
We got a lot. We got a lot.
And probably all just junk food. Just,
We had to preheat
no,
a lot of
nothing to
it.
drink and just snacks.
Oh, there was drinks. There was drinks. We had a little bit of everything, but yeah, it's just funny. Sometimes we don't think about those things when we're all
Yeah.
medicated. It just all looks good, right?
Yeah.
It's funny.
That's the worst going
Me,
to
I
the
just
store.
get stuck in there. Like, just like, I'm like, and then I'll even think I get anxiety. So then I'll think about, oh my God, whoever's watching the security camera, like, what's up?
Oh
with
my
this
God,
lady?
that's so funny.
Like, what is up with this lady? She circled this little area like 10 times. What is she doing? And I'm like, I forgot what I was gonna
that's so
get. Like, or, oh yeah, it's here. You know, like I'll be circling that thing, and I'm like, it's probably funny for them.
I
to
was
be
gonna
like, look
say,
at this person.
I never
What
thought
are they
about them
doing?
looking at me in that way, but
Oh,
now that I
yeah.
do think about it, that's probably a really funny like observation. That is
Because I've
definitely
done
funny.
some where I'm literally I recently did it, and I like circled this area a bunch of times. I kept going back and like, I don't know where my mind was, you know. And then after the time, like the 10th time, I was like, the people that are watching this are probably like, they're all gathered around. Look at this girl. Look at you.
Trying to figure out what you're gonna make with what you forgot.
Yeah, they're like, what is she
What your
putting
next
together?
item
You know,
is.
This, barely anything in my cart, you know, just figuring stuff out in the store.
Goodness.
THC. So that's why you gotta even it out with CBD, and I really like
Yeah.
evening it out. So that I'm like not, you know, at nighttime it's okay, but during the day I'm like, no, I learned
Gotta
my
have a
lesson so
balance.
many times.
Very
Yeah.
important.
But
Okay.
I'd like to get those videos maybe.
Right? See it? Can I see myself walking through the store? All right, so Miss Ashley, tell us a little bit about, a little more detail about what you do and what this means. So we talk about finances, and I think, again, when you're a young adult, it's probably not the first thing you're worried about or really thinking about. From personal experience is what I'm speaking of. And someone who also has worked my whole life and doesn't really have a ton to show for it, just being honest. So I think finances is a really important subject. So tell us a little bit more about what you do and how exactly you advise people and how people can find you and get more advice from you.
Yeah, so one of the main things that I noticed as cannabis patients is that we don't really focus on our finances that much because I think, you know, we're so much on the subject, oh, cannabis is illegal in so many different ways, and federally, of course, you know, we're not able to get approved for as many things that we think we can. But thankfully, you know, we are in a state where it's medical, and so that actually gives us a lot of advantages that most people don't know about. You know, Arizona Department of Health Services is who gives us our card, you know what I mean? And so what happens is I don't do taxes myself, but I realized when I actually worked at the smoke shop, I used to manage a smoke shop about 3 years ago, and what I noticed back then is that's when I started getting into the industry, and I kind of learned some tips, and I found out that cannabis is actually a tax write-off, and most people don't know about this, and that's because we don't know how to really even do our taxes to begin with, let alone know what our rights are financially as cannabis patients. And so I advise, ask your tax advisor if you can write it off on your taxes. A lot of them are going to say no because they don't understand that the reason I brought up the fact that Arizona Department of Health Services gives you your card is that's why we're able to actually write it off on our Arizona state taxes as a medical expense, because that's who gives us our cards. And so technically our cannabis, our card fee, and all of our smoking devices are now medical devices, and we can write those all off on our taxes.
What?
Yes. So it's
Say that again. Wait. So in the state of Arizona, if we have a medical marijuana card
Yes.
and a tax person who has some knowledge on cannabis in any capacity, we can write off our medicine, the card fee that we just are so excited because now it's 2 years, not for all of us. And then also, what was the last thing you said?
Smoking devices, so bongs, your papers, everything, because it's a medical device, because that's how you're using your medicine.
So we just save the receipts. That's
you
going
save
to
the
be super
receipts.
important,
You save
right?
the receipts from like smoke shops and from anywhere you're buying your products. As far as dispensaries, most of the time you can just ask your bud tender to print out the receipt for the entire year, and they'll do it. It takes like literally a couple minutes.
So keep a track of where you go throughout the year, and at the
Yes.
end of the year, go to each bud tender and say, "Hi, I would like a printout of all of my purchases this year," and they will give you that shit, and that's your proof. You don't even have to save those receipts.
Yeah.
Holy shit!
Yep, and of course, we're all charged. If you look at your receipts, even now, we're charged tax on our cannabis. We're charged the state tax and we're charged the city tax, and so that's why we're able to get this money back, is because we're already getting charged these extra taxes for that money for our medicine.
Wow. So we fought a long time ago for against double taxation.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yeah.
And so what you're saying is that if we don't write it off, we're essentially double
We're
taxing ourselves.
just giving free money to go. Yeah,
my
government pretty much.
goodness.
Yeah,
Mind
there's a
blowing.
lot of tax money just sitting around from cannabis, and they're not even touching it right now because there's nothing to use it for. Yeah.
There's lots of things
There's
they could
lots
use
of
it
stuff to
for.
use it
Clearly,
for,
that's men in
but-
charge of that stuff. Sorry, men.
Yeah.
Not sorry.
So it's really interesting on that part. But it's not even just, it's not even just taxes. That's
sure. There's
that's
other
interesting. There's
benefits
other
as well,
benefits
right?
too. Yeah. I am a licensed life insurance agent, and I noticed as an agent that a lot of clients, if they had a medical card or they smoked marijuana, they were getting denied from a lot of companies. And that's because most companies, they see that federally it's not legal and they're going to deny you because it's still a drug. You know what I mean? They don't see it as our medicine as we do. And so I actually noticed that there's a few companies, I think there's about 3 that I work with, that'll actually approve medical marijuana patients. And there's one that, depending on the situation, I can get you approved as standard non-tobacco. So it's like you're not even smoking anything, which is amazing because I don't know if you know anything about life insurance, but if you are a smoker, if it says that you smoke tobacco, your rates are going to be 2 to 3 times higher than a regular person.
Wow.
Yes.
And life insurance is an important thing to have, not for the living, but to help take care of those when you die, correct?
Well, it's both now.
Oh.
Yeah. See, I'm
Shit,
actually
correction.
glad you brought that up because most people don't
Getting
know.
corrected. Did you know all this stuff?
Yeah, I just
you know all this
recently
stuff?
scheduled stuff with somebody with life insurance, and I learned a whole lot.
Yeah,
Holy cow.
Yeah.
there's a lot that's changed within like the last 10 years. I give the best example as you know how the health insurance has kind of gone down within the last 10 years. So life insurance kind of picked up on that where they've left off, and so they've actually added something called living benefits. And so if anything is wrong with you, critically, chronic, or accidental, so let's say you get in a car accident, if you get cancer, Alzheimer's, anything happens, you can actually use up to 85% of your death benefit while you're still living. So you can actually use your money because the doctor's like, look, you're dying, you have this much, you just have to send that proof into the insurance agency, and they'll help you with your claim.
Huh.
Yeah.
So
It's a whole bigger game than a lot of people thought it was. It's a savings account. It's
like a huge investment.
So-
basically.
yeah.
So can people sit down with you to learn more about this?
Yes, yeah, definitely.
How and where?
You can definitely just reach out to me on Instagram at Hashley Stoner. That's where I'm going to be doing most of that from. I also have an email. It's phpastone@gmail.com. You can also email me. I do check my emails, by the way. I know she was saying earlier no one checks their emails. I do check my emails
It's just me.
every morning.
I'm not trying to throw anyone under the bus except for this girl. That's it. Well, and clearly Jasmine, but other than that.
Oh yeah, because
Well, she would have known the time change.
You're right. Maybe just at the beginning,
It says it right at the beginning. In fact, I shortened the fucking email and made it bullet points, right? It was bullet
It was
points.
bullet pointed.
It was shortened a lot too from what it used to be. So like,
Got it later.
I took someone's advice, not saying Max or nothing, but I took Max's advice and put some bullet points in there and everything out and shortened the shit out of it. And still you fuckers don't read. What the fuck? It's all
Other
right.
people, I read.
It's all right. It's all right. Thank you. Thank you, Ashley. Thank you. Just kidding. Just kidding.
I'm
All
not
right.
the only one.
All right. So this is some serious stuff, though.
Yeah.
So you
No, that is
recently
awesome.
looked into this? Mm-hmm. And why did you look into it? Because you feel like you're getting old, too?
My sister got in. My younger sister got in to like do his job to be an agent. So she was like doing some testing, or like they had to like practice, I guess, on families. And so I let her go ahead and come over and like just give them the whole spiel thing.
Gotcha.
And I was just like, what? Like, go on. And I'm just like, I didn't know. People have that stereotype of life insurance is just this one thing.
Yeah.
But it's not.
Yeah.
And then now how she's saying with all these other things and the stuff with cannabis and taxes, and it's like,
right?
Yeah,
There's
it's amazing.
so much stuff that's happening.
Yes. Yeah.
And I think that's the important thing too, is like, how do we learn about this stuff? I think for like a everyday cannabis consumer or patient, for me, like, how would you know about this stuff? Where does this information just doesn't,
It needs
you
to be
go
informed.
to your
That's what
job,
you're for.
Yeah,
That's what you're for.
but you go to your job, right, which is in cannabis, if you're like the everyday person, right?
Yeah,
Not us,
yeah,
so
of
not
course.
in the industry. So you're the everyday person. You wake up in the morning, maybe you medicate or you don't, depending on your job or whatever. You go to your job, right? We're just saying like the average-ish person. I don't really know what the fuck y'all are doing, but we're just kind of guessing, right? Right. So the average person, we're just saying maybe gets up and goes to work or school. I don't know. All right. So you medicate in the morning, and then maybe you get home and you medicate some more, right?
Sounds perfect.
Does that sound right?
Yeah.
You're
then
home,
you
you
do-
medicate, yes.
Right, and then you do your adulting
And then you
activities.
medicate while you're medicating.
Right, and then you do some adult activities and you medicate some more, right?
Yeah.
Is that,
And you medicate.
Yeah.
does that sound about
No,
right?
it sounds like a perfect day.
So I know, like, obviously you're asking how an average patient, an average
Yeah.
patient can get this information.
Yeah, so while
And that's
I'm
a-
doing
that's a
that,
good
nowhere
question.
is this stuff coming at the dispensary when I stop for my
Here's the
meds.
thing, is that's what I'm working on.
Where's
that's
your signage?
what I'm working on.
Where's your signage at the dispensary?
So I
Damn
have
it.
about 4 different dispensaries that I'm working on partnering with
Okay.
right now.
Love it.
I have 3 other licensed agents that are working with me on this project. Obviously, I'm looking for more licensed agents because the more agents we have, the more people and dispensaries we can get into.
Mm-hmm.
I work with Woman Grow as well, and we're going to be having our
They have an event
Tucson-
tomorrow night.
Yes, they have an event tomorrow night, and
Free
then
ticket
an
with a
event,
bud card.
an event on the 19th in Tucson as well. And so
goodness.
Oh,
I'm
I'm
actually,
going.
you're going?
I'll
Are
be
you
on
on the
the bus.
420 bus? Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
So I'll be doing that. And my biggest thing is it's definitely educating, and like you said, there's not enough people getting this information.
Yeah.
And the thing is right now it's just me. You know what I mean? And it's maybe 2 other people. So of course, I can talk to you and I can talk to you. But how am I going to talk to a bunch of people
Right.
unless there's opportunities like
That's
this
what I'm
or
saying.
any
That's what
other
I'm saying.
ways? You know what I mean? And so partnering with dispensaries, it's pretty much how different products vendors come into
Yeah,
the dispensaries
and
and
educate.
educate. I'm going to be doing the exact same thing.
Awesome.
The exact same thing. I'm just going to be partnering with dispensaries.
Money
we're
and
setting up
education.
booths and educating that way directly to the patients. That way they do know that they can what all their rights are.
Yeah, and hopefully then too you can start talking to the bud tenders and educating them too, because I think a lot of again, people that are younger in this industry or new to the industry that are in that place, like those are the things that we need to start setting
I
ourselves
already have
up
a
for.
class set up for bud tenders already because I've already been asked to do that.
it.
Yeah,
I
so
love
I have
it.
that over there. That way, bud tenders can teach patients as well. Because, like I said, with just myself, it's harder to get the education out. So if the bud tenders know, and if everybody knows, then
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe we'll stay a medical state because
Yeah.
everyone's taking care of that tax advantage.
Yeah. Well, and since you said that, it's interesting right now. There's a lot that's happening in our politics, right? And a lot of conversation around legalization.
Yeah.
So this is something that's happening, and there's a lot of different perspectives out there on whether or not it should be legalized through this initiative. And I think, again, as patients, we really need to be asking questions and understanding these different propositions or different things that are being put out there before we vote on them. I think a lot of the
Especially
times,
with what she's saying, like keeping it medical, we can write it off. There's going to be a lot of people that are going to be like, that's way beneficial than having it recreational, because we get to, once it's recreational, we won't be able to do that.
No,
because
we
it's
won't
not
have that
medical
right anymore.
everyone has to applaud Jasmine King. Thank you for showing up.
I'm so sorry.
You're all right.
Like, yes, this is-
You can come over here.
You're
We're
here.
probably gonna break in like 5-ish minutes or so. I love that clock's up there, by the way. What a great
That's
genius
a big
idea.
ass clock.
I don't know who thought to put a clock up on the wall for a show to help keep us on
It's
time, but
9:30.
whoever did,
I
genius.
repeat,
I brought a
it's
slide bag to show
9:30.
you guys after the break.
Ooh, after the break. No. After the break on the next segment, like you're gonna take the. Yeah, I love it.
No.
So that means that Yeah, Bud Card members get free tickets. They don't get VIP, but if you want a VIP ticket, you can buy them, and these are VIP bags, right?
No, I brought you a swag bag. I brought what
This is
your
a-
guys are getting to show you.
Oh, thank you. You're so sweet. Okay, but all right, so you're with
sorry.
Pink Kush. You're all right. You're good.
I
So
really just jumped in here.
we love it. We love it. It's okay. We're talking about money and the importance of finances,
Yes,
Jasmine.
Super important.
Yes, and the importance of reading your email, Jasmine.
Super important, guys. If you want to be a professional, you should always read.
It's all right. You probably have like 3 email addresses. In my defense, I sent it yesterday, so
I have 7 email addresses, so that's why I.
you
Hey, I'm
choose
not
the one
that.
you choose the one you give me.
I give you
true,
my-
I should probably update my contact information.
You know, it's all good.
I'm so sorry.
It's all
It
right.
will never happen again.
It's okay. It's okay. I will love you no matter what. It's all good. I will love and support you no matter what. So we're talking about finances at the moment, and specifically like life insurance and stuff like that. Is that something you've thought about yet?
So-
Do you have life insurance?
So
Not to put
listen,
you on
I
the
have
spot.
thought about it, and I've even listened to podcasts specifically for millennials about when you should get this kind of stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and I've come to the conclusion that until I have somebody that could actually benefit from
Mm-hmm.
it besides my mother, I'm not gonna get one.
See, and I don't think she knows about living benefits
There you
because
go.
I think you just think that it's for
Oh,
your
no,
dad.
I just missed the education.
You did.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna go smoke, and then you're gonna tell me all about this.
Okay, yeah, I'll definitely, yeah, we'll just do that instead.
But a
yeah.
quick recap is that
Yeah,
there's benefits
yeah,
that you
yeah,
can
yeah.
get
They need
Yeah.
to
while
know
you're
it.
alive.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
if you got sick or anything like that, like let's just say, God forbid, you got the C, then you would, have this benefit. Or if you got hurt in a car accident, then I know we're all clearly laughing now.
Like, what?
What?
The C.
See,
I don't like
took me
it.
a while.
I don't want to say it. I don't want to say the word. I don't want to give it any
know, but it's-
space.
so if anything happens to
warning,
you,
I
you
just-
can use up to
it took me a
85% of your
while.
death benefit while you're still living.
Cup?
Yeah, so
wow.
there's
Right.
different advantages
So
that.
millennials should really have like.
And it's cheaper when you're younger too. The younger
Ooh,
you
tell
are, the
her
cheaper
the
it
medical
is.
write-off for the.
I think I told her that I told you about the
You can
tax
write
write-off
off
with
your
me.
medicine on your taxes,
And your
Arizona
rigs
state
and all that
taxes.
stuff.
Your
Oh,
rigs.
yeah,
And your
we're gonna
papers.
talk.
Yeah, so we'll go
Everything
over in the
that
thing.
you use.
Okay.
Yeah, 'cause you gotta tell her about how you
can
go to the dispensary.
Together. It's fine.
All right,
That's
so
what I'm here for.
we are going to go to a quick break. When we
Wait,
come
question real quick. The Bud Card class you're saying.
Wait, what?
Question real quick.
Okay, just one? Just one? Just one?
Just one question. Okay, for the bud tending
Yeah, like
class.
when is that class? And
So
is it
it's
for every?
no,
any
it's
bud,
not.
like,
It's just
for one
Specific.
dispensary.
It's
Have asked me to come in to
specific.
teach their
Okay.
bud tenders. Yeah,
Can you
yeah.
tell us
So
But I
what
mean that's cool
dispensary?
because you don't have. I mean, never underestimate the word of mouth. So
right,
that's great.
right.
You just being you by yourself telling, that's making a whole domino effect. You have no idea.
Yeah.
Me just not finding out alone. A lot of people are gonna know about it now.
Because this girl doesn't check her email, but she got a big mouth.
But it's hard
you did
with
it
the
too?
emails. Yeah.
Yeah, she didn't check it either.
Okay.
I
Were you
texted
late?
her.
No.
I wasn't late. I was really early,
No.
but I texted
No.
her earlier.
No.
I was like,
She
hey, I
texted
was
me
even
like
gonna text her the
confirming, and I'm like, so you didn't read the email clearly.
address.
Like,
you need the
I'm
facts.
gonna start following up with confirmation.
It's
texts.
all right.
That's gonna help me take my professionalism.
it's all right. Look, it's all good. We
I'll set a reminder on
I
my
was just
phone every
shocked.
night
I
to
said
check my email.
no one has ever not like we've done this show for over a year and a half now, and I was like, no one has ever no-showed for the show. In fact, like once, and no one knows who it is except for the one person who subbed. But one time I thought someone might not show. Not like they I just wasn't 100% sure. So I had a backup come and hang out. But other than that, and they came. So that backup was not needed. I was wrong. But it was just one of those in case things. And then, yeah, no backup
So
for
you're
you.
not
She's gonna get it in case next time.
Now,
on the Bud Show.
now I know how to roll with Jasmine. No, it's
Like,
okay.
if Jasmine wants to come on the show, we better call.
Next, I was like, she wanted to be on the show. What do you?
I asked.
Why is she not here? It's all right. Well, and then I was worried a little bit. So that was the other thing. I was a little worried. Yeah, of course. I mean, we want to make sure our Canna community is safe. So
Because
for
when
sure.
you wanted to come, I was
Yeah.
like, she just posted something.
Right.
I even thought she probably thinks it's later. Like in my mind, because
You
I thought
did
it
not.
was
She
later.
did not express
I didn't
that
say it
out
out
loud.
loud.
She
It was
did
a
not
surprise
express that.
It was a thought. But I didn't say it because you guys were talking or whatever out there. And then I was just like, she probably thinks it's later, just like I thought. That's why I confirmed. But I recently know when I watched it, I'm like, it's earlier than it used to be.
It is. We thought that
So everyone
earlier
sleeps
time
at
slot.
that
Well,
time.
we thought a little better.
When
you know.
say, I'm like, 11, I'm like, don't worry. I've been sleeping 4 hours.
Well, and then we're here till 3 a.m. because everyone wants to hang out afterwards. So we
Yeah.
all need to sleep. We had to change that. So yeah, we have
So that's
the
it.
earlier time slot. And just so
friends
everyone
here?
watching knows, this is
Are there people
all the
here?
time. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's people in the
Oh,
back.
fun. Let's
Oh yeah, it's a party. It's a party all the time on the Bud Show. No, you're all right. You're all right. All right. So we will take a quick break. We'll come back. We're gonna dive in. We're gonna dive in a little bit to some of the controversy that's happening in the cannabis industry. So we'll talk a little bit about the stuff that's being said about vape pens. So this is my goal.
Yeah.
Is that we'll talk about this a little bit just to get everyone's kind of feedback or thoughts on the whole issues with people dying from vape pens. Not this vape pen, by the way. Not this one, but vape pens. And in general, we were talking prior to the show about the lack of studies in general for the cannabis community and consumers on our products. And so we don't really know how a lot of these things could be affecting us long term because of the lack of studies. So hopefully we'll come back and talk about that a little bit. I'd also love to talk about upcoming events. There are Oh, it's all right. You're fired. There are a ton of events coming up, just so that while you're on break, you can check out. Tomorrow night is Women Grow. You can get a free ticket with your Bud Card membership. Friday night is Pink Kush, one of my absolute favorite events, and you can also get free tickets with your Bud Card membership. So that's your Bud Card membership right there.
You should get your Bud Card membership.
Yeah, if you haven't figured that one out, you definitely should. And if you don't know where to go, it's www.thebudcard.org. And first month's $1. It says it on our main page. So read, or otherwise you're going to pay full price for that first month. All right, so we're going to go take a can of break, and we'll come right back. I don't know who wrote anything or joined us because I can't read that far away. I don't know if with my glasses.
No, it doesn't make any difference.
No. What about with these ones? No, that doesn't work either. Yeah. So we'll also play our game when we come back.
Yeah.
We have a fun game. Super
We waited
excited.
just for you.
Yeah,
we
we
did.
did. Yeah. So we'll actually do the game first, and then we'll get serious. So we'll come back stoned, play a game, and then we'll get a little serious conversation
Slap
going.
into some serious
Okay,
stuff.
and then we'll end with event conversations to kind of lighten the night up and
Good plan.
end on a good note. Okay, that way
Yeah,
we're not
definitely.
going home and crying because we've all vaped before and we're worried about what's on our lungs. All right, so for those of you who are watching, if you haven't already checked out our sponsor, Hempful Farms, definitely do. If you have not checked out our amazing guests on social media, definitely do that as well. So we have, just so I make sure I say it, Incredible Fusions Incredible Edibles. I know.
You know, people
I
say
know.
like
I was
that,
gonna say
but it's because of
I
the
was-
way that logo is. But
No, I was just because I was trying to read and whatever, I got it wrong.
Everyone's high.
Ashley Stoner, what's the name of your business?
PHP Agency.
PHP Agency. Woo! Say that 10 times fast. And that's on Instagram. Can we find you on Instagram? under
Yeah,
that?
it's just Ashley Stoner.
Okay,
yeah,
so
it's just
hash
Ashley
easy
Stoner.
enough.
Yeah, I just use my
Look her
personal
up.
for my business and everything.
You
Might as
take
well.
DMs about financial
Yeah,
questions?
yeah,
Okay.
always.
Okay. And then what about you, my dear? Coming in late.
Us, Pinkish Network.
Yes, love it. And you guys are, just for anyone who doesn't know, you guys are an event networking,
We're
right?
a network for women, yeah.
Yes, and we love it. And so you guys do events like every other month-ish?
So we do quarterly events. We do quarterly ladies' nights. But
Okay.
we do smaller sessions in between, and those are MMJ only, and they're open to men and women.
Love it. This Friday is it?
This Friday is only ladies. It's our ladies' night.
We like
it's gonna
it.
be so
amazing.
We
And
love
it's for
it.
every lady, right? They don't have to have their card. There's gonna be CBD
it's
products.
Do not need to
Okay.
have your card.
MMJ card.
Nope.
Awesome.
There is a area where you can do CBD and
We
all
have
kinds of
so
stuff, right?
much- We have a lot of CBD to consume this time too. Canna Hemp will be providing CBD dabs.
Ooh,
Yes,
I actually love
Donna.
CBD dabs. So I'm
And
excited.
Rosie will be there, right?
Yeah, she'll be distributing them. That'll be
Yes.
fun.
Oh, I haven't seen her. I can't
And
wait.
if you do have
Rosie,
your card,
can't wait to
there's
hug
so
you.
many dab bars in the medicated zone. It's gonna be so fun.
Cool. And everyone's always medicating and sharing their medicine, and
Oh yeah.
it's just a great event. So that's on Friday. All right, we're gonna break, medicate, and we'll be back, yo. So peace.